Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. 'Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me we'll be on a date, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on a rise out of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well. No. But when we get back, it's like, oh my. All that all day, but the night get that good till we act right. So tell me when we on a date, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? Rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on a rise out of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. Yeah. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves. And I'm knowing your attention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone and the presence I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb the way you dress it, gone flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weathered. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing their body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blemish, make amends when you care about it.
Trying to control our emotions. If we on a rise out of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we can go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
Okay, let me see who we have in here. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I want to test the audio before I get on camera. Welcome, Bella Stevenson. Let's see who else is here. We're going to wait for a few more folks to join us. But please let me know if you can hear me. Bella Stevenson. Who else is here? We're going to wait. right. Let me see who we got in here today. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see what we got going on here. Okay. So, hi guys. This is my fourth live stream with you all here on YouTube. I just kind of like decided today that I would take some time to put some effort in interacting with my tribe here on YouTube and make sure that my volume is turned off. I'm sorry. I have my iPad open on the other side, so I'm live on both screens, but the iPad is just to monitor who's in so that I can interact with you all as I'm doing the live stream. But yeah, so I just wanted to put some time and effort into, getting to know my tribe here on YouTube. And what better way to do it than through trending topics? We love trending topics, don't we? Who doesn't love us a nice trending topic? Thank you so much, your local fave. Nice to meet you. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got some more folks coming in. Hi, Bella. Hi, Bella. Thank you so much for joining. And your local fave says you're so pretty. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just really wanted to stop by and talk with you all today about a few things that I have been seeing on the social media streets, and I feel like I want to talk about it. So, to start things off very lightly, let's talk about the Committee of Social Media Dictionaries. So, whoever is on the committee for social media dictionaries, we need to talk, okay? Because every single post between this week, last week, I think, in fact, I'm late to the whole hashtag demure, um, trending topic, but every single post has, you see how I tilt my head? You see how I wink my eye? You see how I smize my smize? Very demure, very cutesy. No, but seriously, I think what I love most about this trend is everyone's embrace of, you know, finding different ways to say something. Vocabulary is such a thing. Um, it's such a driver of culture. And, you know, for us to be so excited about words like demure, a few months back, it was diabolical. Before that, it was narcissist. And before that, it was toxic. And, you know, I'm here for it. I mean, while I didn't make any posts about demure or being demure up until now, I just thought it was really cute and funny how everyone has kind of like either taken to a liking to the word or just like annoyed and kind of like, you guys need to pick up a book if you want to learn some new words. But what do you guys think about this whole demure? Am I getting my first super chat? Uh, excuse me? I don't know who this person is. I don't know if you're trolling, but I want no parts of. So your boyfriend doesn't believe you that you were with me. Oh, okay. We got to keep it very, cute, very PG over here. I'm not trying to get demonetized before even getting monetized. I just really want to connect with you all genuinely and just live a little. Let's get to know each other here on YouTube. But what are your thoughts on being demure, very cutesy, very mindful? What are your thoughts? No, don't feel bad over here. We're very forgiving and kind in this space. It was just, disclaimer because YouTube is very sensitive, um, has become very sensitive. And, some of the things that you would think that they wouldn't filter or deem as harmful, you'll be surprised. And especially as a Black creator in this space, it's been very, 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 very tough for me. Like I lost two subscribers. Could you imagine? I lost two subscribers a few days ago, and I was like, "Whoa, what happened? What's happening here?" So yeah. Okay, we have some more folks in the chat. Introduce yourself. Be kind. Be respectful. Be mindful. Be very demure over here in this space. We're just gonna go ahead and continue with the trending topics, or whatever social media is buzzing about right now. But speaking of being very mindful, very demure, very cutesy, we have a young lady. I'm not going to share her TikTok information over here because I think she's gotten enough. She's gotten enough from us online and in real life about her stance on wearing shorts to an interview. So I came across this post on TikTok. I was scrolling just a few days ago, and basically the young lady said that she got dress coded at an interview because she was wearing shorts. Now, mind you, she was fully covered at the top, had a cardigan, but the shorts were like shorting, like they were really, really short. Like I have big thighs. I'm tiny. And she was also very curvy, voluptuous. They weren't like poom poom shorts, but it wasn't given interview, so to speak. It was giving, walk on the boardwalk, to the park. It was given pretty calm and relaxed. I wouldn't say it was giving sexy or raunchy. It was just giving like, I'm not here for an interview. So basically the young lady was like, well, yeah, I'm here for the interview. And the employer or the hiring manager simply told her, "Hey, you want to reschedule this interview because I'm not really feeling like what you have on." Basically, that was the gist. Now, if you have been in the interview space recently, as in job hunting, like for me, I'm always going to be seeking work, whether it is contract work or part time work in addition to my 9 to 5. I'm always down to make an honest buck. So she got the opportunity um, to actually have the option to, hey, let's reschedule since you're not in quote unquote work interview attire. This young lady said, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm going home. And the internet has been in shambles since then. Let me go ahead and stop to look at the comments. Calling me. I thought I put my phone on do not disturb, but it just keeps on, they keep on what's the word? Interrupting my live. But yeah, what was I saying? Thank you so much, your local fave. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for your kind words and your love on here. We need more folks in the chat, so it helps to have engagement. Ganjuli Vlogs or Ganjuli Vlogs, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, let's continue. So she's like, all right, yeah, I have no interest in coming back for the interview. And, it is what it is. This is how it came. Dress for an interview, take it or leave it. Basically, that was the attitude. Now, in this climate where it's very hard to get an interview. I mean, I know it's very hard to get an interview, especially an interview for a job that you want, a job that is considerably reasonably is her reasonably what's the word? What's the word? Let me catch my words for a second. Yeah, so it's especially for a job with a reasonable salary, one that you're not just like, living paycheck to paycheck with, but one that's actually going to allow you to enjoy life a little bit. It's very difficult to find one. So you find a good company, you stick with it. And that's where I'm at right now, too. But, it doesn't hurt to kind of get back out there and see what the job market is, what they're looking for. So recently, a few months back, I went ahead and, you know, took up and a job interview for a remote position, and it was basically along the lines of social media. And if you don't know, I'm in school for social media mobile marketing. I feel like it's the most in demand career on the flip side of, like, numbers and finance and all the things that pay normally. I feel like now, with the rise of social media being such a hot space for businesses, it's also a hot space for job seekers as well, who want to do what you do on a regular basis but in the professional realm. So I went ahead and the first thing I did was looked at my resume, cleaned it up. I mean, my resume is already like to the teeth. I do resumes for my friends and families and for anyone looking to get a job. I do it really well, and I'm a great writer. So just holla at me if you want me to do your resume, because I think I do a pretty good job at that. But anywho, so I cleaned up my resume. I went into my closet and I got the best outfit put together. I looked at my nails and I said, "Oh no, I can't go into an interview with like my nails looking like this." So this is what my nails look like right now, but before the interview they look really bad. Like, you could see like the polish all the way to the tip, and the rest of my nail was bare. But that's just how serious I took the interview, because I didn't know, what the salary was going to look like per se, because they have this broad range. And I also didn't know what the job description was actually going to um, be like once I, got into the interview session or whatever. So basically, I like put my best foot forward. I made sure my hair was on point, my makeup was on point. I make sure I took the light rail. If you live in New York City, we have the subway and then light rail. So like light rail would be like LIRR, the Long Island Railroad, Metro North, um, etc. So like I got myself together. I got there on time. Um, and when I came to the office setting, I realized immediately when I walked in the door that this job was not for me. But I was going to go into the interview anyway and see what other options and opportunities will come my way. So I come into the interview space, and I'm a millennial, okay? Some people call me like a late millennial, early Gen Zer. I'm a 95, 96. I'm like, they always say 95 or 96, you're either late millennial or early Gen Z. So I'm somewhere in the middle, okay? But I don't consider myself to be Gen Z. You know, I believe that I'm a full-fledged millennial. But anywho, when I walked in, it looked very Gen Z vibes. Like, it's very laxed. The people that were on the job were, pretty dressed down. Those who came for the interview were also dressed down, not even like business casual, just like kind of like, yeah, I'm going to the park type of vibes. And here I am, dressed to the nines, makeup and everything. And I look very professional for the setting. Now, granted, I've worked freelanced on, smaller sets and things of that sort. You're not required to come dressed in a suit. But as a candidate for that day, I just assumed everybody else would come dressed like me, you know? So I went into the interview, we sat down, they had us do a trial run. I had no idea that this was for a major social media platform. I'm not going to say which one. Um, but long story short, they had me like, try things on and, see if I was comfortable in front of the camera. Naturally, with me doing this already, um, I didn't have a hard time. So it looked like they were really enjoying me on camera and that I was doing really good as far as like the interview process. So while I'm sitting in the studio space, because at this point, that's what it is, it's a major studio. I see, big brands like, skincare brands, set up basically. It was staged for influencers to come in or content creators to come in and promote and do what they would do at home, but in the studio space. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that I would like to do. Because granted, on the job description, that was what I initially sought out to do. But I was disappointed in the interview where they told me, hey, like, we require a certain amount of following and presence in order for you to have this position, which they weren't really clear about on the job application site. But it is what it is. And but long story short, I just really wanted to give you an idea of how much effort I went that I put into getting ready for a job interview in a potentially job market that I would like to pursue in the future, and how those that were on the Gen Z cusp, like the early Gen Z or late Gen Z cusp, how I was dressed versus how they were dressed for the interview setting. You follow me? And so when I came across this video, of this young lady saying that she was not going to go home and change her clothes, mind you, the interview that I had taken, I knew that they weren't gonna call me back because I challenged them on the salary and the expectations and the fact that the job description did not match what I applied for. I knew they weren't gonna call me back. But they said they'll call me back. They'll give us a call. They'll give me a call to give me the final verdict. Never happened. So for you to go to a job interview and they say, "Hey, let's reschedule." That's like a second chance. Am I wrong? Correct me if I am wrong. Let me see who else is still in here. I can't tell. Okay, we have one person still in here. It's okay. We're going to keep talking because this is how we grow. We grow by trial and error and we keep moving. But anywho, so for this young lady to refuse the offer of a second chance, it just spoke volumes as far as like the the undertone surrounding workplace and workplace culture. It has shifted. It shifted. We all thought that it shifted in the pandemic for the greater good because people were prioritizing things like mental health and physical health and just being around family and managing your time and not having your life revolve around work, but work revolving around your life, trying to have a healthy work life balance. But what we're seeing now with that video is like the extreme side of, well, like, there is no regard for the workplace. Granted, if you don't want to be in a work setting, then that's all cool beans. You're fine. You don't have to, like, succumb to the status quo. But if you are trying to get a said job in the status quo setting, then you still have to play by their rules. I mean, even if, let's just say, you wanted to wear shorts to the interview, you could have done like some cropped at the ankle shorts. I forgot the fancy name for it. There's a fancy name for it. Um, you could have done a wide leg pants that wasn't all the way to the ankle, but something above the knee. You don't have to wear a suit. And if you're unsure of what to wear, you can always wear a button down, men or women, and get the job as long as you look clean, neat, presentable, and not distracting. Now, shorts, whether they're pum pum shorts or Bermuda shorts or just right above the knee shorts, they're distracting, in a work setting. And it's unfortunate, but if you're trying to get a job in a status quo setting, you need to play by the rules. And for her to be just only for her and I to be the same age, that was alarming because girl, we're trying to get we're trying to get paid here, okay? And you found yourself in a situation where, the employer was willing to call you back. I'm not sure um how serious that employer was about actually calling you back, but you must have had some crazy resume that they were still willing to give you the opportunity to come back for the proper interview. So that was just really interesting to me. What do you guys think? Who's in the chat? Let me see. Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Okay. Yeah, so who's here? All right. So it seems like it's me and your local fave in this chat today. But yeah, all right. So let's move on. Let me think. I wrote this down. All right. So the next topic, you really have to be engulfed in the Afrobeats scene, Afrobeats culture, African culture, like 15 years ago. Like that's how deep you have to be in for you to really get a sense of, who these people are and why why is it important. So last but not least, we're going to be talking about the dynamic multi-million dollar selling Afrobeat duo or ex duo for now, temporarily, because I have hope that these two are gonna patch things up, or should I say, these three are gonna patch things up, come out, give us a tour, give us some bangers, and we're gonna live happily ever after and just enjoy them flourishing with their families and their lives. So, these two artists that I'm going to be speaking about today really, and I'm going to say it this way, not to diminish their career success, but for my American friends, for my American population of viewers who caught on to the Afrobeat quote unquote wave, because it's not a wave, it's been around. It's just that America was the last part of the world to really catch up. To be to be honest, that's no shade. Everybody else was privy to Afrobeats and the music for a very long time, but America, since they're considered the leader of the free world, since we're considered the leader of the free world, once we pick up something, all of a sudden it's amazing and it's new. But anywho, so they basically walk before so that Wizkid, Davido, Ashake, Burna Boy can run, even though there was some overlap as far as like when those artists that I just named started out. But before those artists really blew up, it was P Square. P Square was holding us down for the thousands, okay? The 2010s and the late 2000s, like P Square held us down up until even now to this day. So they're still making good music. It's just now they have split. Now, P Square stands for Peter and Paul Okoye, and they are Nigerian brothers. specifically from the Igbo tribe. Not that this really matters, but it may matter in a later part of this discussion. So they are two of three siblings. Their older brother, Jude Okoye, was their manager, and he started out, he was their cinematographer turned manager. So Jude was the one initially who had the career for, who had the passion for music, and it was by it was under him that his brothers took a liking to music, and they just really and truly, like, loved the fact that he was into music, and they took a liking to the music scene. And when Jude, the older brother, recognized, like, wow, we're a very talented family here, he saw that his brothers could not only sing and write but also dance. He decided to take it upon himself, like, you know what, we're gonna do this thing. You guys, under my guidance, we'll put you guys together and we'll make you blow. So 15, 20 years down the line, um, we have P Square, and as of recently, Mr. P for Peter, and Rude Boy for Paul. Paul is the one with the locks. Mr. P, he doesn't have any locks. He got the nice, simple dark Caesar. And essentially, they're no longer a duo. So a lot of things have contributed to these two splitting, this group splitting. And they've split in a way that there's like a beef between two versus one, or maybe one versus two, and everybody versus each other. But from what I'm gathering, what I've gathered following them on social media and following other commentators on the subject, this is going to be a quick trending topic live because I'm pretty new to this stuff. But essentially, what's happening is um, Peter is accusing the older brother Jude of basically stealing money from the group. You know, it's been reported that Jude was cashing out 40% of the royalties, while Peter and Paul individually were each cashing out 30% each. Now, why is this such a big deal? It's such a big deal because Peter and Paul were global, and they still are global, but in their prime, they were selling out shows, they were making music videos, and then when they crossover, they were part of the crossover wave as far as Afro beats combining with hip hop, Afro beats combining with dancehall artists, Afro beats combining with R&B artists. They have collaborated with the likes of Rick Ross, Ti, and also they've collaborated with other musical talents in the Afrobeats world. And you know Tiwa Savage, just to name a few. But long story short, money and division of assets within the group were major game player was a major game player in the split of the group. And this one I don't really want to touch on, but I'll have to touch on because it was an initial um, buzz killer for the group as well. So Peter, the one without the locks, he married a woman that was fairly about 11 years older than him. And this woman, her name is Lola Omotayo, and she was also of Nigerian descent, but she was Yoruba. And I don't know if my American friends are aware of this, but Africa is very tribalistic, and we are very much, I don't want to say xenophobic, but it like even if you just see somebody from the same tribe, like you're happy And then in the same sense, like different tribes, some in very tight, close knit areas, in parts of Africa just don't mix, and it's not something that is customary. You do see it over here, you do see it overseas in other parts of the world, but in the motherland, it's just kind of like taboo, so to speak. I mean, I'm from Sierra Leone and we're very tolerant. You know, Muslims and Christians marry each other, different tribes get together. Not to say that there's not conflict there, obviously, but for the most part, we're a very tolerant country. That's what I've learned. That's what's been instilled in me, even though I was raised over here. And that's what I saw when I went back home recently. But yeah, so the family, particularly the twins and Jude's mom, did not like the idea that an older woman was, in a relationship or pursuing her son, as they like to call it. But Peter was very, like, firm that this is his woman, and he went ahead and married her after the burial of their late mother. And this put a wedge between him and his eldest brother, because his eldest brother was like, whoa, mom said, this is forbidden fruit over here, and you go ahead and do this shortly after she's been crossed over to the other side. And he's just like, that's a no-no. So that was one of the major issues. And it is not her fault that, Peter fell in love with her. It's not. And I hate like how the um Nigerian media, West African media, like, social media platforms are trying to make it a woman's thing. Like it's the women that were the problem. It was the wives. Like the first time Peter and Paul broke up, like probably was in the like um 20 between 2013 2015. I don't even remember. I got to check the dates because I'm just going freestyle based off of memory. But the first time they broke up, everybody was like, oh, it's because of the wives, it's because of the wives, it's the wives, it's the wives, it's the wives. And I'm just like, the wives just happen to be there. And in this day and age, the last time I checked, Anita and Lola never had beef. Okay. But they made it seem like it was the beef between the wives, when the whole time the beef was between, family not approving of Peter's spouse, who is Lola. So, long story short, last year they came together again. They settled their differences and they went on tour. And, a lot of African artists, Afrobeats artists, they sell out in parts of Europe. Um, the Americas is new territory, but like when I say they're like the Beyonce of Afrobeats for the men's side, before the Davidos, before the Burners, before that Shake, they were coming up after Two Face. They were coming up after the Banj, and they kind of like had some overlap there even too. So like they were like the middle generation before the Afrobeats artists that we see now, and they sell out arenas over there. So when they went out on tour, unfortunately, I couldn't catch the tours because of my job and everything else. Life was life, and I was just now getting this apartment. But they sell out tours, they sell. They're very marketable, very handsome, very talented, and they could sing and dance their behinds off. And you can tell that they're heavily influenced by the late Michael Jackson. His influence was all over the world, and a lot of African artists have took from that as well. But P Square, um, particularly, were like the um they were the ones that people looked at, "Oh, they look like Usher and they dance like Michael." That was like the vibe. So to hear that they are fighting again after a year of like mending things again and touring, but this is like I think their fourth breakup. I feel like, these two have broken up more than I've broken up or I've been broken up with in my past relationships. And I'm really, 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 really sad and disappointed because I see this. We've seen this happen so many times where groups they break up, and by the time they decide to come back together, nobody cares for them anymore. And I feel like this is where they're straddling the fence on. Like, if they continue like this, nobody's gonna care. If you see how the on the western side, how these old girl groups, SWV, Escape, um, just to name a few, there's a laundry list. But now luckily there's still a generation of folks that appreciate their music that are alive that are willing to go pay for it. But could you imagine if those folks had passed or just had moved on completely, where SWB and Escape would be? Like, nobody would care for them. They wouldn't be selling out on tour. And it just so happens to be like, I feel like now that P Square, they're like in their late 30s, approaching 40, like this is such a bad look. But I understand, there's family ties, and working with family can be very frustrating, and I don't ever want to have to deal with that. So as for me and my family members will never work together on a professional level like that. I'd rather work with a stranger and help my family members in other ways, um, in their progression, and have them help me in my progression, but let it not be on a business level, because this is how you can really spoil relationships. When money is involved, it can corrupt people, and it's not nice. So with that being said, like, I know my followers in here not really privy to this side of the world, but I just wanted to talk about it because it is a trending topic. And if you don't know who P Square is, like, you can go ahead and Google them and listen to their music. Their music is really nice. And I just hope that Rude Boy and Mr. P, just get over their egos and coconut heads and just like get back together, okay? Because you only get one twin. We always talk about you only get one brother, but you only get one twin. And, I guess Drew, he can be a triplet because he was there before the both of them. But I think it's high time for them to just like settle their differences offline, keep it offline, because at this point, yes, while the public deserve to know, since like, they're a brand, we should not know all of the fine details of the breakups until maybe after you guys have been retired, you're old and gray, and now you want to talk about, what happened. But like, we shouldn't hear about it right now. And it's unfortunate because, families are involved, kids are involved, wives are involved, everybody, like, just catching strays, innocent bystanders are involved at this point. We, the public, are involved. And those of us in the Afrobeat scene who grew up on these guys, like, we're very invested. And it's just so sad to kind of like see it crumble like this. But anywho, that would conclude my trending topics segment today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope for those of you who are just now seeing this video, I hope you go back and like, you know what? Let me go ahead and subscribe. Let me go and add my subscription back to this girl's channel, because we are fighting for our lives here. I thought I'd be at 500 subscribers already, but I understand, it's a give and take here on social media. And if I'm not giving much to the public, how can I really expect to receive? But I really wanted to, like, take a quick breather, but also hold myself accountable for the upcoming weeks when school starts. I want to really be still active, even though life is about to hit like a tornado, like a hurricane in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, so if you love this video, make sure you share your appreciation, make sure you comment, share, subscribe. For those of you who stopped by even for a little bit, I remember at one point there was 11 people on the live. It's just that I was having some technical difficulties, so I couldn't engage. But if you like what you see, if you enjoyed what you heard, if you have some positive feedback, constructive criticism, please leave that in the comment section. Make sure you check out my recent uploads. I have a video that I just put out there for boundaries. On social media versus real life, and my shorts viewership has went down very catastrophically. So please go and just show my channel some love because we're gonna pay it forward over here. I have so much things to share with you. I have vlogs, travel vlogs that I haven't finished editing yet, but it takes so much work to edit and produce content. So it's so much important like that folks engage and that folks actually care about the content that I'm putting out. Because then it's kind of like a moot point to just keep on putting things out there and people aren't really messing with it or not really expressing how um they enjoy it or not enjoy it. Just kind of give me some positive, constructive, even if it's negative, even if it's something I don't agree with, just don't disrespect me because that's not allowed over here on this page. And as I mentioned in my previous post, in my previous upload, disrespect and, unconstructive um, comments will not be tolerated here on this channel. But thank you so much for joining me here. It's your favorite girl, 100 Degrees of M&K. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment and share. And see you on the next video. Bye. Okay, how do I end this live? Yes.